Gonca.
Hi, this is Destina.
Anne Kız Unplugged. See, that's what you're doing. I mean, you're doing it better than me, for sure. But
No, okay, sure. Nice one. Lovely voice. Beautiful. Keep singing.
okay, today's topic:
What did you want to talk about today?
discipline, authority,
Whoa.
reward, and punishment.
Okay.
Because I don't remember, I can't really recall. I think it was a book in French. It was something called, or maybe a dissertation that I read when you were young, discipline without authority, something about that. And it really struck me because, there was this kind of, when kids are growing, a kind of a concept about reward and punishment, like timeouts, for example,
Okay.
when the child does something. I hated it. Like I tried a couple of times out of desperateness again. But then it was so not my type of being a mother because it was written in the books or it was advised by some people. I think when you become a mother, you also lose your instincts somehow because you want to do everything so good
Right.
that you don't do something that you feel like anymore.
So
You're
it
trying
took
to
you away
control
from some of your instincts that
a
you
lot
felt
of my
as a mother.
instincts for a long time until I recovered and unlearned what was written in the books because none of the books actually tell you about your own kid.
Of course.
Okay, there are
Yeah.
examples and it's someone's idea, but then you apply them, it just doesn't work either for you or for the kid. So you need to find your way. But this authority and discipline made me think a lot. Because authority, in my opinion, makes you it's like an order.
Yeah.
And whereas discipline is something that as a role model you do, where the children can see and, let's say, imitate.
Well, I guess you're saying discipline is quite internal, whereas authority is very external.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you really did put it so well. So I was just like, when we are coming from the authoritarian side, either you just do it because you have fear or obliged, but it's not something that you would want to do and it might not be sustainable, or you rebel against and there is this resistance which makes you become like, again, your relationship becomes another trouble. Or let's say, again, like because you did this so well you get a reward, because you didn't do it so well you get punished. I'm not really sure about the genuine learning process behind that. Because I think I came at this age to a stage where I think that motivation comes with it. It's not that something you can insert.
Yeah.
But for things that you really love or passionate about or curious about or you want to learn, then you have that kind of a motivation.
Do you think that the guidance and the boundaries and the structure that a parent does need to essentially, maybe put a bit on a child, is that discipline? Or authority?
I think, for example,
Or does it
discipline.
matter
I think it's discipline.
I was just curious what you
I think
thought.
it's discipline because in authority, what I have experienced, of course, I'm talking about totally my own experience, Destina. I'm not an expert on the subject.
Yeah.
I'm just a
because
mother.
it can feel very, I guess, controlling when there isn't.
There are times that you need to control, like for safety, security, this, that, when it
course.
comes to health issues and stuff. Yet on the other hand, when we're talking about discipline, there is something which is more compassionate, more sustainable, and something that can stay or shape something in a more natural way. That's how
Yeah.
I feel about it. But with authority, what I felt came also threatening.
Yes. Which, I mean, for me, and maybe I feel like in the few times that maybe we experienced
Yeah.
it, did not work.
Exactly.
Hell to the no. I do not respond well at all to this or that.
Exactly.
Or
And
Yeah.
And it didn't make me feel good either. Like I regret big time. Like for example, there's a specific example I want to give. You know, there was a time, like for us, for example, the minute you were in my life, you and your brother, reading books at night was something before going to bed. That's
Yeah.
the least what we used to do, because I love reading books as well, you know. And you were also okay. But then growing up, this became like, okay, I don't want to do it, this, that, fine. And there came a moment, and with everything that was happening in the world, with this big change of, you know, before we didn't have the movies of those books that we could read. So for us, it was like I had to read the book. Like I couldn't watch Alice in Wonderland from
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. Okay, so I was
Okay.
reading the book. But there came a time, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, all these classicals became a movie.
Okay.
So children stopped reading the books, but they started watching the movies. So me, I was just like, no matter what, books should be read. Okay. And then I was struggling. So because I couldn't make you read books, I went crazy and I said, if you don't read books, I will give Ginger, our dog, to a family who can look after him better than we do. And you became nuts. Of course. Who does that?
I do not remember this.
I remember because I regret it. See, this was authoritarian. Like
Yeah.
I was obliging you to do something with a threat.
Yeah.
And then if I look back, was I reading a book back then? At that period time in my life? No.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. I think what really works well, at least is, I guess that's where you kind of put in the whole role model and, you know, the discipline aspect is rather than saying, do this, it's when I'm doing this, so maybe here you can follow. Or you kind of set an example by actually doing the thing that you're saying that
There you go.
would like us to do.
So I think I was more angry with myself, who wasn't reading a book. I wasn't disciplined to read the books that I wanted to read.
Right.
Then I was totally reflecting this in a very authoritarian way
Yeah.
onto my kids, and came the threat. And of course, you bursted into tears, Jem rebelled. No one, I mean, you're trying to read books and then you're just like, you know, I would have hated books forever in my life. Thank God you both didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But then you said, this is cruel. No one does that. And you said, if you don't think about us, then you should think about how Ginger will feel about this. Of course, you have all the
Yeah.
right to say so. But then you also said something to me. Until then, you know, you have these little children's versions of books as well. Like, for example, Richard II for children, Hamlet for children, Macbeth
Okay.
for children. I remember we used to read those ones as well. And then you loved that. And then you said, and you never asked me why I stopped reading books. I said, so why did you stop reading? You said, because after reading all these things, I can't really find a story that really attracts me. And I said, well, the kid has a right. You know, after Shakespeare, which book are you going to like? You know?
I swear to God, that sometimes the things that I listen to, I'm like, Little Destiny was quite dramatic.
Not dramatic. You didn't say this for being dramatic. You had a point.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
And then my friend's father made a great comment. He said, you won't be able to put such a discipline, such an authority on your kids when it comes to reading books. They are living in a world where they can watch this. So rather than banning them to watch the movie and still learning the story, watch it together.
Yeah.
And you can still share the story.
Yeah.
Maybe later they will also become curious about reading the book as well.
Well,
So that
you just
also
have to,
made me...
adapt a little bit.
Exactly, like being flexible and adapting to the area we're living in.
Yeah.
That's the reality we can't fight.
Yeah.
But then coming to terms, rather than making a punishment or a reward, or authority.
Well, yeah, I definitely, I think discipline is a form of self-respect as well and self-love. At least that's the way I practice it. And that's why I think discipline is so internal. But this whole, like, I don't know why I do this action. I guess, you know,
See-
I mean, that's how I hear authority, or I guess that's when it's, I don't know, when I think, you know, you have authority figures in your life. Why I don't know if now I would see that as more role models, because I'm also thinking in school or, you know, for me, when I like in university and stuff like that, even I definitely felt, I don't know, I see a difference in power is what I'm trying to say. And that is something that I really, you know, respected.
Out of fear.
I don't know if it was out of fear. I just thought that was the respectful thing to do.
It's a very thin line.
No, I think, I don't know. What do you mean?
Like the thin line of respecting someone because they're not authoritarian but disciplinary,
Yeah.
or someone who gives you fear of authority, like there's a threat.
100%.
Like, I mean, if you don't listen to that class, for example, you'll fail. Like there's something.
I also reject that completely.
See?
Yeah.
There's no genuine learning there.
No.
That's
not
why
at all.
I think in learning, becoming a role model or just like trying to be disciplined for, like, I came to ask myself, Yoncacığım, what do you want to do here? Do you want to oblige your child to do something? Or is it a need of yours that you're trying to implement on them?
I'm just thinking now, because I mentioned school, you were never honest to do homework.
That's another topic, Destin. I want to put this on the side, and I want to make another episode on homework.
Okay, well, can I just say one thing about that, though,
Yeah.
in the matter of discipline? It's that you never was like, okay, sit down, do homework, do this and do that. We come home from school, you know, do it. But there was some source of, I guess, discipline that me and Jem, you know, had where we would do it ourselves. And
Okay,
follow
this will be
through.
very unfair to a lot of parents who are struggling with their kids' homework, because I will open a parenthesis. I think we were lucky, your dad and me.
Okay.
Because you and Jem made your homework.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because to me, I had to do this thing for the people that told me that. I don't know. There's like
I
a
don't know.
dynamic there that I...
For me, it was very clear. I'm not going to do any homework. I have done mine when I was in school, and I hate homework.
Yeah,
I was a very hard
I know
worker.
you did not help very much.
I hated it. So for me, that's another. See, that's why. I mean, there's the strict line there.
Okay.
And that's a totally other topic to be like. I want to treat it separately as well, because it's a huge thing for me.
Okay.
But discipline and authority, like I don't think that I am. There was a time I was authoritarian, which I think didn't work. For example, I remember for the timeout, because I was told that it was going to work, and then I remember you or Jem, I don't remember saying, okay, when I finish the timeout, can I still do what I was doing? Like, I mean, I was like, oh, see, it doesn't work. I mean, the kid is clever too. It doesn't mean anything.
No.
Like that kind of a rewarding or punishing thing, that really does not. I don't think that it's something that, in my world.
It also, it's not, I don't know, I don't think we process things that way or go through. Do you think it's just constant reward or punishment?
I don't know,
What
but
kind
I've
of
tried them
measurement
all.
system
I've
is
tried
that?
them all, because I thought, you know, of course, all these experts must know something.
Yeah.
But then it felt awkward to me. I didn't like it.
Okay.
As a parent, I've gone through that. I
Yeah.
hated it. But then it made me also question and think a lot on authority and discipline. I think they're totally two different things.
I agree, they are different
And
things.
I think parents, it's just on us to do some work on this. Like, really, I mean, that time when I was threatening you for reading books and giving Ginger away, I came to understand later that actually I wanted to read books.
Yeah.
So just go do it, Yonca, then, rather than telling your child to do it, or do whatever, like fulfill your own need before trying to fix it on someone.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, that came a little late, you know what I mean? But then I gave up, and I just said, okay, maybe I should just do what I want to do, and they will see it, because it won't help you not seeing a parent who's not reading, but just requesting it.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. But I guess I do think it falls under discipline where, you know, I think it was in the Turkish soap opera that we were watching in İstanbullu Gelin.
Oh.
When the mother describes something about, you know, and they were talking about authority and discipline actually, and how you don't want to be controlling and be, you know, have this authoritative, you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't speak authoritativeness. Is that even a word? I'm playing the second language card here. Over a child when actually, you know, you also don't want to let them roam completely free.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think she was using the metaphor of them kind of being like a butterfly,
Yeah.
and how you do need to, you know, strengthen that cocoon a little bit, whether that be through discipline and being a role model and, you know, showing, influencing certain things by the way that you do them, so that when they are, you know, let into the real world, that they have some sort of structure or understanding in which that they also know where they can protect themselves.
Yeah, because otherwise, I think the other way around is just like reaction,
Yeah, that's a good
not
point.
recovery.
That's actually such a good point, Mom.
Yeah.
Wait, I like that. Ooh, good one. Sorry, I liked it. But reaction, yeah, because where you're reacting from. Whereas I think that just boils down to the thing that you were saying of actually understanding something, actually learning something.
Yeah.
And, you know,
But whereas
feeling-
recovery comes from like more of a sense of like genuine, okay, rather than reacting to this, what am I wanting to empower,
Yeah.
encourage, which feeling, how does the learning come,
Yeah.
which stays.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one thing that I just wanted to talk. I don't know. I mean, that the reading example is one thing. The struggle is real. Really, it's something. But for me, in authority, there is reward and punishment, like a threat. Whereas in discipline, there is something which is more genuine and internal, intuitive. And like the motivation can be real.
Okay.
Because you want to do something, then you put an effort on that.
Yeah.
And it's about how you're being and what you're doing with
The
it.
intention there is different, and there's no I guess resentment.
Yes. I think that's why it's more sustainable, or it becomes a beautiful experience. Otherwise, the other one is just like you react or you just ignore and you do as if.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might be so authoritarian that you might not even think that you wanted it, but it just became a part of your skin which itches.
Yeah.
I think we need to be really, I think this is a very important topic for I don't know, for generations as well, Destina.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad that you brought it up.
It just goes to, to a kind of a leadership, let's say, where we just don't want to see what's happening in the world. And, that's. Okay, I think I'm complete.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, that's it. Well, thank you for listening. We'll see you in another episode
Thank you.
with another topic.
I'm Nickers.
Unplugged. Bye.